Hello, determined Amazon sellers. Andy Craig here again, diving deep into the best technique to cut wasted ad spend in Amazon PPC campaigns. Have you ever wondered how to keep your ad spend efficient, achieving a stellar ACoS without breaking a sweat? It's not just luck, it's strategy. Today we're about to master the art of adding negative keywords swiftly using Amazon PPC bulk files. By the end of this tutorial, you'll be wielding your search term report like a pro, slashing wasted ad spend and optimizing these broad, phrase, auto, and expanded product targeting ads to an award-winning ACoS. So the first thing we're going to go over in this video is what reports do we need to download. So like a lot of my videos, I'm going to jump into Seller Central. I'm going to go to the menu, go to advertising, open up Campaign Manager. Once I'm in my Campaign Manager, I'm going to go to the bulk operations here, go to sponsored ads, open up bulk operations. And once we're in the bulk operations portal, what I want to do is download my bulk file. Now, usually I'm going to download my 30-day bulk file, which is my usual. I'll go include campaigns with 0 impressions. You can include sponsored products, sponsored brand, sponsored display. And now you could add guidance, and you could also download your sponsored products search term data along with it. But usually I'm so used to just downloading the search term report separately. So I do want to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to create spreadsheet for download. I'm going to click this download button, and then I'm going to go over to the bar graph looking thing here. Open this up, go to sponsored ad reports. Once I'm in here, I'm going to go create report, sponsored product search term summary last 30 days. That's all I need. I'm going to run report. And once I click run report, I'll be able to click this download button right here and download that report that I just scheduled. Now let's jump right into the report. So I've created this Google Sheet to kind of give you guys guidance. And what I'll do is I'll add this right here, a little bit of guide on how to add these negative keywords into the comment section after the video. So be sure to look at that. So what I want to go over first is this example. So this is just pretending I'm, selling my garlic press. You could add the negative keywords like you have here, negative product targeting. You got create is the operation column on what you want to do. So basically what this is going to do, it's going to find this campaign with this ID, find this ad group with this ID, and create a negative product target. And we got negative keyword targets. If we look over here, I'll just stick to this file over here. So we got negative keyword targets, and then we have negative product targets. Those are the two negative types. Now your campaign IDs will go from here, and your ad group IDs will go here. And I'm going to show you exactly how to find those in just a minute. And as you scroll over, you always want to automatically put it enabled. Just so we have that enabled. You could also pause the negative or archive the negative as well. And that's another completely strategy for a whole another video on a different day. And then you have your keyword text. So because these top two are negative keywords, these are going to always have a keyword text in here on what you want to do. And there's a difference between negative exact and negative phrase. What negative exact is going to do, let's say I have my keyword stainless steel garlic press. If I don't want that to show up in an auto, abroad, or a phrase campaign, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add negative stainless steel garlic press as a negative keyword right here in that exact match type. That means my ads will no longer show up for that exact keyword. Now for negative phrase, say I don't want it to show up for the word crusher, right? Mine's a garlic press, it's not a garlic crusher. So what I want to do is add the word crusher to the campaign, and it will not show up for any keyword that contains crusher whatsoever. So that's the big difference between negative exact and negative phrase. And if you want to learn more about this negative files and a lot of this other stuff, Amazon has tons of tutorials. Jump into this bulk sheets tutorial right here. You'll learn exactly how to do a lot of this step-by-step guide through Amazon. That's how I learned everything, as well as many other people like me who've shared valuable content. So thank you everyone out there who has done this before me. Amazing work. Getting back into it. Now, if you're doing negative product target, which is this one, you have to go over to this product targeting expression here. So this one is going to just be ASIN equals in quotes and then put the ASIN there. So if we go back to this example and I scroll over to the right, you're going to see that ASIN right there. So there's two ASINs, and that's exactly how they're going to look. ASIN equals with the ASIN in quotes. Okay, so that's exactly how you're going to add that. Like I said, I'll add this little file so you could just change, the keyword text or copy this column. Basically, you could just copy this column a bunch of times if you want to add a bunch of negative exact ones and paste it throughout the sheet. If you want to add more negative phrase, you could paste that throughout the sheet, or just delete this column altogether. If you only want to add negative exact, go ahead, just delete this row, delete the next one. But basically, if you want to add a bunch of the same, you could just, copy this row all the way down. If you just want to add a bunch of negative exact, easy as that. Just click on that dot and drag it down. But I'm going to leave it the same for now. It's really as simple as that. But how do I get the campaign ID and the ad group ID is what I want to go over next. And why would you add a keyword as a negative? First, I want to show you how to add the ad campaign ID and the ad group ID. So here in that bulk file that we downloaded, this is just a quick example. This is not an exact bulk file because your bulk file is going to be very long and it's going to include every campaign, every ad group, every bidding strategy, every top of search modifier, product page. It's going to just contain hundreds of columns and hundreds of rows in here. What we're concerned about for adding these negative keywords is your campaign ID and your ad group ID. So when you're doing it in the bulk, you do need to come over and copy these. So when you're looking at that sponsored product search term report, you're going to look at that campaign name and the ad group name, that keyword you want to add as a negative came from, and you need to copy the campaign and ad group ID. Now there's a lot faster ways to do this using VLOOKUP and indexing. So if you're good with Google Sheets, if you're good with Excel, it's a quick way to do it. If you if you do like a VLOOKUP of your bulk file, compare your campaign name and grab that campaign ID and ad group ID, it's a very fast way to do it, and that's how I do it. So anyways, let's get back into it. Now we want to figure out, okay, now that we copied our campaign ad group ID and our campaign ID over into this file, we want to figure out how do we determine which keywords and which campaigns to go for and which keywords or negative product targets we want to add into this. All right, so let's jump over to our sponsored product search term report. So what we want to do is start to comb through this, right? So what I'll do is I'll select this. I'm going to add a filter to everything. The first thing I want to do is get rid of any exact match keywords, right? I'm not looking at exact. I want to look at broad, phrase, auto. I actually don't want to get rid of blanks because those blanks will show up, but I want to get rid of exact. I want to get rid of product targeting, like all these ASIN equals. Those are just going to be regular product targeting. So I always run this filter and then I'll go ASIN equals, and then I'll just clear all those so they don't show up anymore. I don't want to do any exact match or any exact match product targeting because I only want to go after my broad ones, my broad, my phrase, my autos, things like that. And that's exactly what I'm going after here. So what you're going to see is what you're targeting is this keyword. I just put keyword 1. I'm not going to share, client confidential data. So I just replace it with keyword 1 here. And if we scroll over to the actual customer search term right here, I shortened it up so you wouldn't see a lot of the ASINs as well, which we don't actually have them in here. So I could open this up and you could start to figure out, oh, this is what the customer actually typed in. So the difference between targeting and customer search term, this is what our ad is targeting, and this is what actually showed up. Like if it's a broad match keyword and I'm targeting garlic press, we could see garlic press for kitchen, garlic press, stainless steel garlic press. Broad match, we'll just take that word garlic press, put keywords before, after, and in the middle. To our phrase match, we'll just put them before or after that keyword. So that's exactly how that works. So what we want to start to figure out is there a certain customer search term that we're not performing well on. So the first filter I do is I go ad spend, high to low. So I'm figuring out where did I spend a ton of money, but I also want to figure out where did I either have a high ACoS or didn't make any sales. So you could run a filter in here and you could say, blanks, or let's say greater than. Maybe I want to add anything as a negative that had over a 50% conversion rate, 50% ACoS, so I'll say 0.5. So anything above 0.5, which is going to be 190% ACoS, maybe I want to take these and add these as negatives. So what I want to do is I want to copy that customer search term, add it to my negative file that I'm doing, go into my my bulk file, find the campaign ID and the ad group ID that matches with the campaign name and the ad group ID that matches with the campaign name and the ad group name here. So add it to the bulk file, find the campaign ID and the ad group ID that matches, and then you just fill in the blanks here that I left. Easy as that. And then it seems a little bit complicated, but as you get used to it, you'll get quicker and quicker at this as you're going through your sponsored product search term report. You already have your bulk file there. You could just run a filter across it. In my sponsored products campaigns, I could just quickly do the same thing. Run a filter, search for that same campaign name, easily find it. Basically just click on this, click on the filter, search for the campaign name, then search for the ad group name, and then just grab the ID, copy, paste it into my negative upload file. Pretty simple. Getting back into that search term report now. So I want to take those ones, add those ones. Those are way above my target ACoS, and I want to add those as negatives. So you want to come up with a threshold on what my target ACoS is. What kind of threshold do I want to add as negatives, if they pass my target ACoS? And there's a couple different factors that I'm going to look at. Is what is my cost per click? Am I already adjusting down those campaigns? Do I want to just lower my cost per click on the target as a total? and that'll take care of it if my cost per click is super high. I also want to look at how many orders is it bringing in. Right now it's only bringing in 1 order each, but if it's bringing in a substantial amount of orders, I don't want to be too quick to add it as a negative. Optimizing the bid should take care of that. But these ones are just 1 order each, super high ACoS. Let's go ahead and add these as negatives, and I'll go ahead and do that. And the next thing I'm going to do is get rid of that greater than. Hit OK. Run another filter. Let's just go 70 orders equals 0. So I'll clear this at 0. So now I'm only seeing things that I spent money on but didn't make any sales. And let's just give an example. Say we'll take that same 50% ACoS. Anything above a 50% ACoS, I want to add as a negative. Let's say my sales price is $25, right? What a 50% ACoS of $25 would mean if I spent $12.50 in ad spend and I made 1 sale, that would give me a 50% ACoS. So basically, even if, say, I had $12.50 in spend, even if that next click was a sale, it's going to be above a 50% ACoS. So I'm making that $12.50 my threshold. So anything that's spent above $12.50, didn't make an order, I want to start to add all these keywords as negatives. So basically, you're going to do the same thing. Grab all these keywords, match up the campaign name, ad group name, add all these as negatives in the file. Now you could do it in the file like I am, or just go into your campaign manager, search for those campaigns and add them manually. I still think it's much quicker to use the file to do it. Now, in the tool that I showed you in last week's video, that tool was Adtactix, which allows you to do it way faster. It's still what I use, and I could, create a negative upload file in like 5 minutes using Adtactix. So go check out that last video. I'll put a link up here in the top of the video so you can check out Adtactix, my favorite Amazon PPC optimization tool. All right, so go ahead, grab these ones, add those as negatives as well. And basically that's usually about it, but there's a couple different factors you want to keep into play. Am I going after a target ACoS, or you could always optimize towards a conversion rate? I like to do both. Let's say my regular conversion rate is 10%, which means it takes me 10 clicks to get a sale. Now, let's say in my last video, I talked about pausing keywords, and I said, usually about 2.5x my normal conversion rate. So 2.5x, those 10 clicks would be 25 clicks. So if I am over that 50% ACoS threshold, my target acquisition price is $12.50. Or if I'm over 25 clicks, that's when I'll go ahead and make a decision. If it meets either criteria with no orders, that's when I'm gonna add a keyword as a negative. Now this one has a much lower conversion rate on this product. It's only taking a few clicks to kind of hit that spend threshold. So it's not a good example, but let's just pretend, all these were, 30 clicks, 40 clicks, 50 clicks. If that was the case, then I definitely want to start adding these ones as negatives, even if they didn't meet my spend threshold yet. But as you see, the cost per clicks on these were just extremely high. So it's not a very good example. Mainly in this specific search term report, this seller, which is a real example from an audit I did, this seller needs to start taking their bids and optimizing their bids because they're getting pretty bad performance here. All right. So once you've added the campaign ID, the ad group ID, if you figured out if they're negative product targets or negative keywords, and you've added the keyword text and the product target ASINs into here, remember when you do it, you only want to add the ASIN part and not the product, this description up at the top here. So it'll look just like ASIN equals. You want to add all this stuff at the top up here. So once you add all that and you're ready to go ahead and just click File, click Download it into Microsoft Excel. Once you download that, you're going to go back into the bulk sheet here and you're going to choose File. Once you choose your file, you're going to click Upload. You're going to select your file and then you're going to click Upload to process changes. And then once it finishes, you'll see that successful finish, 16 out of 16 rows, easy as that. And there you have it. That is how you quickly add negative keywords. And what this is going to do is it's going to start to make your ads much more efficient. It's going to take all that wasted ad spend and start to cut it out. And if you remember, ACoS is ad spend divided by ad sales. So as you're cutting out your ad spend without affecting ad sales, ACoS starts to decrease, your campaigns become more efficient, and you are more profitable at the end of the day. Now, this is a process that you should be doing on a weekly basis at minimum. This is something we do at my business every single week, sometimes more often. We're always looking at our auto, our broad, our phrase campaigns. If they're not performing well, we want to dive into that search term report and see if it's a certain customer search term or certain product target that is causing all that, negative performance. And instead of adjusting our bids too drastically, we want to get in there and cut out that waste quickly. So we don't affect our actual revenue. We're just affecting and cutting out wasted ad spend, making everything more efficient. And there we have it. Now you're armed with the insights and skills to optimize your Amazon PPC campaigns, transforming them from break even to profitable. And remember, in the world of Amazon ads, it's often the behind the scenes tweaks that makes all the difference, like efficiently managing negative keywords to minimize wasted ad spend on Amazon. And before you go, if you found this tutorial on negative keywords insightful, don't miss out on my upcoming video where we tackle how to leverage Amazon Subscribe and Save to maximize your revenue. So click on subscribe and we will see you in the next one.